Hello, hello. It's just me as your host tonight. Scott Wilson may be joining us here in a little bit, but his beautiful daughter Jenna is out at the winter formal tonight, so he wanted to take some time and get some pictures with her. So he may be joining us in a little bit, but I'm not sure 100% what time he's going to be joining us. But we have an awesome show tonight, an awesome show, especially for anybody who loves stories about the military. Facebook user, if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, you can allow Facebook to view who you are, or you allow StreamYard to see who you are because we can't see you, or that, or put dash in your name and we'll know who you are. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Corey. Well, tonight's special guest is a vet. He runs the Bill of Rights Network on Facebook. He's also a fellow paranormal investigator, and he is a member of CC Paranormal Team, and he has a podcast here on Things Network called Paranormal Nation Radio. Well, there goes Ghost. Of course, he's got to show his tail. But let's all welcome Carl Albertson.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you for being on our show. It's a pleasure to finally get to talk to you more and find out a little bit more about you.
Right, yeah, because first time we talked was in a private meeting where we had and everything, which was great to meet a lot of the people on Things Network.
Absolutely. It's been a fun venture so far for all of us.
Yes, it has. I mean, you got a great network and it's growing.
It really is, and we're really excited about the direction it's going and what the future holds for it. Hopefully, we get a lot bigger even, and can someday, do some really fun and exciting stuff with it.
Oh yeah, that's the whole deal of building a network like you got and I got is building it and reaching out across the world. We have listeners on both networks all the way across the entire world.
Absolutely. Hi, Adrian. She said, "Hey, wizard." Miss Hart. Yeah. Hi, Chrissy and Natalie. So glad you guys all joined us. Well, Carl, I wanted to give you a chance to explain to everyone a little bit of your background, and then we'll dive into some questions.
Okay. Well, I'm Carl Albertson, as you see across the bottom, Wizard of Odd. Some gentlemen gave me that name. The odd stands for operating digital devices and everything. That's how that came about and everything on another network that I used to belong to, because I did all their shows and everything using the same platform we're using. And one of them said, the Wizard of Odd. And I looked at him and he goes, operating digital devices. And I went, okay, that'll work. So that's how it came to be. The show we have on Things Network is Paranormal Nation Radio. And I am the founder of CC Paranormal Team. My co-founder is Gary Whitmer, Pastor Gary Whitmer. He's 76 years old and stuff at my church. So we got started into that. We have a couple other people on our team, Randy Post, Emily Anderson, they're investigators. Emily can see the aura around people. So we have that. And we are also linked up. A lot of our investigations are with Denise and Ron Pridemore. And you've seen her on our show. She has her own show on another speaker podcast, yeah, and stuff. But that we started CC Paranormal Team about oh God, has it been 9 years now? Yeah, 9 years ago we started it, and as we get later into it, I can talk about it anyway. How we got started in the paranormal. I've had paranormal experiences, more deja vu type experiences, where I dreamed something and it would happen 3 days later. where I was put in a position like I know what's going to happen, you know, and stuff. And then Pastor Gary, he had a church camp. And at that church camp, they had kids from Honduras and things come up. Well, they had one boy in there that fell out on the floor and started slithering like a snake. And they got on him, and Pastor Gary could feel in the arm the waves of something underneath his arm and his skin going across it. So he's had that. Another girl at the camp, he helped them get 6 demons out of her, I believe it was. On the
Wow.
7th demon, they had her held down. This is a 90-pound nothing little girl, right? Holding her legs, holding her arms. The voices coming out of her mouth were like crazy. So one of the camp counselors laid on top of her. This is a 240-pound man to hold her down, right? The 7th one was fighting so bad that she threw everybody off her arms, off her legs, picked this. Now remember, she's 90 pounds. Picked this 240-pound man up, picked him up, and threw him through a sheetrock wall before it left. We'll have to get Pastor Gary on the show sometime. He can
Absolutely.
explain all this. I mean, it's amazing. We're letting him heal up right now. He had a heart attack here, 3 weeks ago, and had to have triple bypass.
Oh, wow.
So he's kind of mellowed out on the team right now, letting him heal back up, but he can't wait to get back in to what we do.
Absolutely. Our thoughts and prayers are with him.
Yeah, appreciate that because it hit hard. His wife, he retired as a pastor 6 weeks ago. 2 weeks after he retired, his wife passed away from COVID. So it hit him hard, and I think that's what brought on the heart attack. But a lot of stuff going on there. We've been to a lot of places. Of course, you've probably heard of the Sally House.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was an assistant tour guide up there with Denise and Rod and Pridemore for a year. They were up there for 7 years. I helped up there for a year. Got to meet a lot of teams coming in to investigate it. We would run 300 people through that house on a Saturday.
Wow.
And we seen all kinds of things up there. I got scratched up there. I got attacked up there. Denise got scratched several times. So we did a lot of that. We go to Melbourne Manor in Iowa. If you haven't heard of that, look that one up. Josh Hurd owns that one. We've had a lot of experiences up there at that place. And then a year ago, we went to Ashmore Estates over there. So those are some of the big places we've been. We've been to, I've helped out at the 1859 jail in Independence, Missouri.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. But how we got started in the paranormal as a paranormal team was Pastor Gary. Again, he worked for the county at the time as the county commissioner, as the zoning commissioner, right?
Mm-hmm.
A paranormal team, dusk to dawn, out of Kansas City, wanted to investigate the courthouse. Well, the commissioner said, yeah, but there had to be somebody that works at the courthouse be with you at all times. So they asked Pastor Gary, and he asked me, he said, you want to come to this? And I said, oh, yeah, I want to see what these guys do. You know, I've seen the shows and everything. And I was like, this is ridiculous. You know, I got to see what's going on. So Dustin Dawn come up, Jimmy McVeigh is the founder of that team, and came up to the courthouse. We met them, watched them set all their equipment up, you know, the cameras and everything. And the first thing that happened was I was in the jury room with Jimmy, and the door was halfway open where we could see both sides of the door, right? And we're sitting there talking, and for some reason, I heard a noise or something. I turned and looked at the door, and I'm going, "Do you see what I see?" And he goes, "The doorknob is turning on both sides. It was turning back and forth."
Oh, wow.
And I'm going, "Well, that's cool. That's interesting. First investigation I'd ever been on." So we did all that. Well, they came up 3 more times to the courthouse, and Jimmy got me and Pastor Gary offside and said, "This is an hour drive for us. You guys need to start your own team up here. You're not like most people that go in there and they see that and go, it scares them to death." I said, "It don't scare me. I'm trying to figure out what did it.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. If they make a noise or anything." Okay, I got to re-sign here. Yeah. So anyway, but so that's how we started, and the courthouse is in Kingston, Missouri, which is the county seat for Caldwell County. So
Oh,
you take CC, Caldwell County Paranormal Team. That's how we started, because we were doing investigations at the courthouse all the time, bringing people in and having them go with us while we did our investigation and stuff, and got some pretty good evidence out of there. But nobody can investigate the courthouse anymore, because during their regular working hours, a lady fell down the stairs and broke her leg.
oh,
And they went, "Oh, we can't have any of you guys doing that crap." And I went, "Okay." So I know on one of the other shows they was talking about insurance for investigations. I contacted Lloyd's of London. We're in the process of getting our insurance for paranormal investigations.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Once we do that, it's in the minutes of the meeting with the county commissioners. Once we have the insurance, we're allowed to go back in and investigate.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so we will get back in there, because the history in Caldwell County has a lot of history. That's the third courthouse at that location. All of them have burnt down
Oh, wow.
mysteriously, right? Caldwell County in Missouri is also well known for the Mormon Wars,
Oh, okay.
because in 1836, Caldwell County was created and given to the Mormons that they ran out of Independence and Johnson County, Ray County, and all that down there, right? They ran them out and said, "Okay, we're going to give you this county. There's settlers up there. As long as you don't bother them, the
Yeah.
county is yours." October the 28th, 1838, 2 years later, the governor issued an executive order to eradicate all Mormons out of Caldwell County. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2 years. In 2 years. So we have Hans Mill Massacre, which killed 17 of the Mormons down there from Chillicothe. Militia came over. We've investigated that. We have a cemetery, Cox Cemetery, that we take care of now, because it was my great 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 grandfather's cemetery. So it is 3 miles from the Hans Mill Massacre, right?
I
Then
got
if
you.
you go 3 miles south, and you're in where? Indiana, Ohio?
Indiana.
Indiana. Okay, you probably heard this. This just happened in the last 2 years. The Dimmel brothers murder
Yeah.
out of Wisconsin. They came down to the farm, and the guy shot them and then burned them and all that. That's 3 miles from our cemetery.
Oh, wow.
So we have a lot of activity up there. We do a camp out up there in the fall every year, and camp out and investigate it. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a wild ride these last few years, but quite interesting. Quite interesting.
Yes, man. I gotta love the cat, Ghost. We
Yeah.
have we have 2 kitties and 3 dogs, and the dogs love to make noise, and the kitties absolutely well, Ghost anyway likes to walk in front of the camera when I'm on.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, on one of my shows on Second Amendment Ranch Show, Cameron's boxer loves climbing up in his lap when we're doing the show.
oh yeah.
Gotta love the animals.
Oh yeah. Yep, it's always an adventure with the dogs and the cats and doing podcasts.
Oh yeah.
If
That's
you
why
see
I'm
me
in
throw my
my
mute up, you know my dog started barking.
right. That's why I'm in my little backroom studio that I have set up back here. My dogs are in the living room out there.
Yeah, I'm in my kitchen and it's pretty open. Our house floor plan is fairly open, so
Right.
but I get the best internet reception here, I guess, or Wi-Fi.
Well, my modem is in the living room. I've got a 50-foot Earthnet cable that I ran under the house and brought it out here and put it up in my studio. So I'm hardwired in.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm on a slab. So for me to
Yeah.
do that, I got to go up through the walls, across the ceiling, and
Yeah.
our we have a cathedral ceiling in here.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no attic space above it.
No, it's yeah, I can see your point there
Yeah.
and stuff. But
So I
it's
have to run
always
off the
nice.
Wi-Fi.
It's always nice to be hardwired in
Oh yeah.
and everything. Wi-Fi, it's good, but always do a speed test before you go live. It's
Yeah.
what I got to tell everybody that uses this platform because if you don't have a good upload speed your show is going to be crap.
Oh yeah. Around here, it's not too terrible, but it's not great. So it is we do it with what we can.
That's what we all got to do. That's all
Yeah.
what we got to do.
I do have to throw out a quick shout out. So a few weeks ago, we had DegCon, and there was a girl who had a bag that she was carrying around, and I said, I want that bag. And she said, it's not for sale. And I said, well, that's too bad. I said, I'm a paranormal investigator and I'm a real ghost hunter, and I'd love to have that bag and I'd put my paranormal equipment in it and take it on ghost hunts with me. And she said, well, how about $50? And I said, okay, I'll bring you the money tomorrow. And she set it aside for me. This is the bag in question. But I promised her mom that we would plug her her wares on our network. Yeah, that's my new investigation go bag. I got my digital recorders and small stuff in there. But
She
I
did a good
take it
job
with me.
on that.
She did. It's just cute as it could be. She's about 8 years old, 9 years old. But there, if you see our ticker at the bottom, Mandy's Country Creations on Facebook and Etsy, go check them out. It's a lot of fun. I promised them I would plug it on the show.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. An
Oh
8-year-old
yeah.
kid makes something like that. Yeah, you got to put that on the podcast.
Oh,
Help the kids out.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Carl, I know you're a vet.
Yep.
You were in the Army, and I was in the Navy. And Scott Wilson, if he was here, he'd be making jokes about me being in the Navy. But we both served our country. And I know when I was in the Navy aboard the JFK, a lot of people would be like, there was always stories and rumors of certain places on the ship, especially an older ship, certain places on the ship that if you go there, it's going to, you're going to see the ghost of this person. You're going to see the ghost of that person. I never had a paranormal experience while I was in the Navy, but we wondered, what kind of experiences you had serving in the Army, if any.
Well, when I first got stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas, they have part of the base is called the retraining brigade. When you screw up, you come to Fort Riley and they retrain you. Okay. These barracks were up on sandstone blocks, right? And stuff. You would drive down there late at night, and I can't say if they were shadows, if they were ghosts, but there's nobody there. You're just driving through these empty barracks, and you would see stuff running between the buildings. Fort Riley goes way, way, way back. You
Oh
go
yeah.
to the main post, and all the buildings down there are built out of sandstone. Every one of them.
Wow.
I was up on Custer Hill where they had the brick buildings. I was lucky.
Yeah.
But then I got stationed sent to Istanbul, Turkey, over there. And I was communications sergeant, radio operator, basically, is what you could say, and radio repairman. And my job was 25 feet underground down a staircase with all these radios set up on the wall that had everybody at one time talking different languages and stuff. I had to learn some different languages back then. And it was interesting. But walking through the old parts of town, because I had what you would call a little hut on the outskirt of town. We didn't have an actual base.
Right.
When I went over, they told me, don't shave and grow long hair. And I went, okay, I can handle that.
Right.
I came into the Army with long hair. I'll stay in here with long hair. So anyway, I get off. I had to fly a commercial airline, land over there, and my captain shows up. He's got red hair, way down over his shoulders, curly red hair, big old red beard. And they said, you're going incognito, basically, right?
Yeah.
Very little ID on you and stuff like that. But when I get there, he's holding a sign up with my name on it, right? And I'm going, well, that ain't cognito.
Right.
There's not too many people in Turkey named Albertson. So
right.
I said, okay, where are we going and what are we leaving in? He goes, the Jeep. And I look over, it's a U.S. Army Jeep. How cognito can you get? Right? So we did all that. But in the old parts of town, you'd hear rumors and stories about a haunted location. If you go in there, something's going to try to get you out, force you out and everything. And seeing a lot of shadow figures in buildings over there that I was in. Down in the market, when you talk about, I got to think of the word now. It's when you see yourself, the Lolliganger or whatever it's called.
Doppelganger.
Doppelganger. Okay. I would be standing there talking to one of the merchants and turn around and see myself not even 50 feet away talking to another merchant. Then I'd look around and see the merchant I was talking to at another location.
Oh, here's our other host, Mr. Scott Wilson's here.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast that you might be joining us, that you were spending time with your very beautiful daughter tonight.
Yeah,
I saw the pictures on Facebook. She looks great.
She had her very first formal dance, or winter formal dance. So, yeah, I had to get all the guns ready and,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So everything's locked and loaded, baby.
Got the daddy mood on.
Did you do what I told you to do?
What was that? No.
You toss the boy a shotgun shell and when he catches it, you look at him and you tell him that moves a lot faster after midnight.
That it does, except my daughter did not go with a guy. She went with another girl. Yes,
Oh,
my daughter is bisexual, and I support her in any way. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just even throw it to her. I'll be like, "Can you outrun that?" No, cool.
Well, you can do like we did my granddaughter and everything. I think she was 10 and she went on her first dance with a boy.
Yeah.
Well, I had a bunch of my veteran friends and her dad staged in another room. So the boy's sitting there, took her. I went in as Poppy, right? And everything. I get in there and I said, young man, got something to tell you. And he says, what's that? And I said, I need you to come over here. So we walked over and I said, we need to go in this room right here. We opened the door. Now, this is a small town school. You got to remember, we got permission to do this. Okay. All my buddies were sitting in there with rifles. They said, you touch her, you can't outrun them. And
Oh,
he looked up,
absolutely.
his eyes got about that big. We sent him back. Oh, he wouldn't even touch her hand. He barely sat down beside her. And I walked over to him and said, she's not a ghost. You can get real close, just don't get too close.
Right, right.
And believe it or not, she's 16 now and they're still dating.
That is awesome. Yeah, my daughter's almost 16, and before she left the house, I was like, hey, no matter what, no smooching. She just looked at me. I'm like, what? Like, that's what my parents told me. Like, don't be kissing on girls. I'm like, psh, okay.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
No.
Yeah. So, how's everything? I know I come in a half hour late. Of course,
Okay.
there's my homeboy. I understand you're a veteran as well, just like me and Tim. So,
Right. We was talking about my tour in Turkey.
we
Oh,
we were just
yeah.
talking about his experiences in Istanbul, and I wanted to point out, Carl, that Istanbul is one of the oldest cities around. I mean, anywhere in the world.
Oh, I know. And there's
It
a
was
lot of,
Constantinople, and before that, I believe it was the city of Damascus, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yep,
Yeah.
it
So
was.
if you read the Bible, that city was around then called Damascus, and I think even before that, it was part of the Hittite region of the world. So
Right. And there's a lot of, how do I say this? Very wealthy people out that's got little mini Taj Mahals out there,
dang.
real nice mansions. I got to meet one by pure accident. I was walking down the street and over there, we carried 45s under our windbreakers at all times.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was walking, and at that time, all women had to have their face covered, right? I'm walking down the street, and out of this, it looked like a bar, came this girl, real nice looking girl, with these two big, what I call oversized gorillas, right? Manhandling her like crazy, pushing her back, trying to push her in this Mercedes. She's fighting them off. Where I come from, you don't do that to women.
Right, right.
I pulled both my guns out on them and got them away from her. She slapped them and everything and took off. And I was like, oh crap. So I walk on past, guns on them, get out of far enough away that if they're going to pull something, I can duck around the corner. I left. About 2 weeks later, my captain come walking up with this letter, and it had one of these rubber seals on the back of it imprinted, and it had my name on it. And I went, what is this? And he goes, I don't know, what is it? Opened it up, and it was an invitation to one of these big mansions out there, right? And I said, I showed it to him and stuff, and I said, I'm not going alone. You're going with me if I'm going out there. He said, okay. We get out there. I show him the card. They let us in. And it's just a big formal. They had women dancing and food everywhere and stuff. And Finally, one of the guys come over and said to Sheik, what he was over there, wants to talk to you. And I went walking up there and introduced myself. Captain's with me, and I introduced him. And I said, why did I get an invitation? And about that time, this girl come walking out that I helped, right? No veil on. He goes, this is my daughter. And I went, uh-oh, what did I do? And he goes, nothing, right? She don't follow traditions with the mask on. She's one of the rebels, right? So about that time, he goes, okay, yeah, you two come with me. So we walk all over, and we got our guns with us and all this. We walk over and go in this back room. They open the door up, and here are these two gigantic guys that I held guns on. They were her bodyguards. But here's the kicker. They were not supposed to lay a hand on her. Right? So the sheik said, we want you to stay in here. We're going to show you how we handle this situation. He pulled out a bullwhip and beat those guys with a bullwhip in front of us. And all I could say to my captain was, I'm dead when we get out of here. You know that, don't you? Them two guys are going to kill me and stuff. And no, they didn't. We had a real good time. But in that, especially in that one there, I seen a lot of shadows in that building. I was telling my captain about it. I'd see something go across, and I said, did you see that? He goes, see what? And then he go, you see that? And I go, see what? And I mean, everywhere we went over there and stuff. And then when I came back from over there and get out of the service, I don't know if something followed me over here or what, but everything I did went completely wrong and went south immediately until I got with the church I'm in now, Pastor Gary and stuff, and we did prayers and everything, and we've been together ever since. And like I was telling Tim, Pastor Gary is the co-founder of our CC Paranormal team. And he's a pastor, but he's also 75 years old.
Oh, man.
He's one of the oldest paranormal investigators we know of around. So that's how overseas in the military and seeing a lot. And of course, I do a show on our other network, the Second Amendment Ranch, as you can see in my background back here.
Absolutely.
So we all stand up for that, especially being veterans.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Don't mess with my Second Amendment. No way.
No, that's why, off the subject, just for 1 second, the verdict today was a big boost for the Second Amendment.
That it was. Absolutely.
And everything. And I just pray that he can go on with his life and be safe.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
Yeah, I've often laughed sometimes when people talk about us losing our guns and they're going to send the military in to take our guns away. I'm like, you don't know the military that well, do you?
No, they don't.
I've never met a vet or an active military guy that doesn't own a crap ton of guns.
Right. And if you stop and remember, okay, late 70s, I went in the military. When I went to basic training, they handed me an M16 that said Mattel. And I went, that's a toy company.
Right.
And they went, yeah, they make M16s in Vietnam, because it was just a few years after Vietnam, right? And I'm going, it's a toy gun. They go, it shoots real bullets. And I went, okay, that'll work.
Yep.
And that's when Colt was coming out with their version of it. At the time. They had a mixture, but all through basic, I had the one that said Mattel. The only one.
Dang.
The only one. And it never jammed up on me once.
Oh, I believe
But
it.
in the service and everything, you seen your M60s, and they got so much new weapons and everything. They're the cheapest weapons on the market. You look at all of that. You look at the rifles you have for hunting, rifles you have, the ones I have, and everything. They're built by a manufacturer that takes pride in their product,
Oh,
you know.
absolutely.
And our weapons are a lot more superior than what the military's got.
Oh, yeah.
100%. We talk about that on our show a lot.
Well,
Just like you said, if
in
you
the Navy, we always talked about how safe we felt floating in the middle of the ocean on a chunk of steel that somehow magically floats, but it's built by the lowest bidder.
exactly, exactly, you know that that always amazed me in the Navy. A big metal ship made out of steel. The last time I put a piece of steel in water, it sunk.
Yep.
You know, and you're sitting there, which I couldn't have joined the Navy anyway because I can't swim. I sink to the bottom. Buoyancy in my body is way up here, right? They found that out in the Army too. They pushed me in a swimming pool with a full back ruff on. You can't swim? And I went, yeah. And they pushed me in. I waved at them at the bottom until the bubbles quit. And I'm going, come here. But they said, oh, you can't swim. And I said, nope. So it wouldn't have done me no good to join the Navy.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. The first Christmas I was in, they come up and they said, get up if you want to live. Christmas morning, 3 a.m., middle of the Pacific. I've got absolutely nothing on outside of a life jacket and a pair of skivvies.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on deck is like that. Well, our ship had lost rudder control, and another ship had lost full power. And we missed each other. I mean, we could see the guys on the other ship. We were waving at them. They were waving back.
Oh, crap.
And, of course, a lot of the newer guys got that familiar little...
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Man overboard.
Yeah.
Which, from the top of an aircraft carrier, that's a long fall.
That's a long fall down into the water. Oh.
Yeah, you're about 65, 70 feet off the water.
Was you guys throwing like wedding proposals and wedding bands back and forth to each other?
See,
I'm just curious.
I told you, Carl. He'd be making fun of me.
I'm sorry, man. I mean, being in the Army and being in the foxhole, sometimes you get a little cold. So, I'm just saying, come here, big guy.
You Army guys in your pup tents.
Hey,
Pup
when I was
tent.
in the service and we flew
I
out
didn't get a pup tent.
California for maneuvers, right, from Fort Riley out to California, and landed out there. First time I got to see the Air Force. And I went, oh, crap, did I join the wrong military? These guys had cowboy hats on, white T-shirts, cowboy boots, marching and walking across this deck, and I'm on the flight line. And I'm going, oh, hell, I'm in the wrong service now.
Right?
Well, in the Navy, all the other branches get jealous for the Navy for one thing, and that's the food. Because all of our chefs are actually go to culinary school. That is their A schooling, is actual culinary school. And we get like some great feast. In fact, Scott, I was talking to a guy from your unit. I think he's like the head of the VFW.
Rick Stowe.
Yeah. Yep. I was talking to him not too long ago, and he's like, yeah, I had to go over and ship over some equipment when they went over to Afghanistan and Iraq. Right. And he was on one of the Navy ships, and he goes, man, you guys ate great.
Yeah, and he's not, I mean, and God bless Rick. he's slimmed down, but he wasn't a little guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Rick was a pretty big guy.
But you look at, well, the restaurant that I'm the general manager and part owner of up here in the small town, Christine, the original owner, she's a veteran of the Army and everything. She was a cook in the Army. She was one of the head cooks for a battalion and stuff. Got him in there. This 3-star general showed up overseas in Iraq and ate and wanted to know who fixed the meal. Well, all the other chefs backed up and left Christine standing out by herself, right? She looks around and goes, well, I guess I did cook the majority of it. He goes, good. You're restationed. You're cooking for me.
Oh man.
So for the next 3 years before she got out and everything, she cooked for a general.
That is
And this
awesome.
lady can cook like just like your grandmother cooked. So that's how I got into the restaurant up here.
That is awesome, man. That is so awesome.
It's awesome. So, Carl, tell us about the Bill of Rights Network. That is a network that you helped run or you founded?
I founded it and stuff. I was with another network. It was supposed to be a veteran network that I was with for a year and found out they weren't helping veterans. So I was fading myself out, and one of our shows over there, one of the hosts on there, Cameron, was doing another show on that network. We decided to start the Second Amendment Ranch, right? So me and him co-host that show. And I went, Second Amendment, I'm going to create a network. And Cameron went, okay, well, what are you going to call it? And I said, I'm going to call it the Bill of Rights Network. We talk about the First and Second Amendment on the shows and everything. He goes, that sounds great. It's also called Born TV, which is Bill of Rights Network. It worked out perfect for the Born, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of our other shows on there came up with an idea and said, make a T-shirt. And I went, okay. I go, what do you want on it? And he goes, I want Born Hub. So we took the logo from the other one and put the B in front of it and made a T-shirt.
That is awesome, man.
But
that's so great.
And that's what it's all about. It really is. I mean, especially being a veteran just like you both, just trying to help your brother out and maintain everything that we do and whatnot,
Well, it's like even on the network here, you fall under the First Amendment.
Oh,
your
absolutely.
freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
Facebook is real bad about it.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a repeat offender in Facebook jail. I'm just saying I have my own
if
number.
you've been in Facebook jail, you've done something right. That's what we tell people.
I have my own number.
Hey, I've got 2 gentlemen that back to the Bill of Rights Network. We had it going for about 3 weeks. And I was watching another network with another show. Little did I know these guys were leaving the network. So I sent them a message. I wanted them to be guests on our Second Amendment Ranch show. Well, the message didn't get all the way put through the chat room over there. It said, come over to the Bill of Rights Network. Right?
Right.
So that's how we ended up with HTX Renegade Radio with Simple Man and TDC. Okay. They came on. Other shows we've had on the network all came out of our chat room. Every one of them, or guests that we had. So now we have Second Amendment Ranch. We have HTX Renegade Radio. We have Paranormal Nation Radio. We have Vincent's Voice on there. And another show, we have Born TV after 9 p.m. It really gets rank on that show. Yeah, it's after 9 p.m.
Sounds like our show, The Petri Dish.
Okay, it follows along the same line, right? It does.
Absolutely.
When I seen the Petri dish watching it the other night, I was like, that's Airborne TV. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, I've had other shows on there and they went on to do their own thing and stuff. And it's been a great network. We got a great following worldwide and stuff. And the Bill of Rights Network, just a couple of months ago, set the new world record for the longest live stream.
That is awesome, man.
We went
I couldn't do it.
400 hours live
Wow.
No,
using StreamYard.
no, that is crazy. Nope.
I would have died.
I'm lucky if I make it past 9 o'clock.
I personally did over 200 of those hours.
Oh,
In
wow.
17 days, I did 200 hours.
That is crazy.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
we have all that, and you can find all that over on the Bill of Rights Network on the Facebook. You can go through all the videos. Because the bad thing about YouTube is 8 hours, you got to start it over. 8
Yeah.
hours, you got to start it over. But StreamYard kept it going for the entire 400 hours.
That's amazing, man.
Oh, that was a lot of work and a lot of coffee.
Well, I don't know about that, Rosie. I really don't. But being in the military like yourself and the three of us, I've done some Ranger coffee. I don't know if anybody else has done that, you know, where you open up the pack, put it in your mouth, and if you got cream and sugar, you can open those up, put them in your mouth, take your 2-quart canteen out, and drink it, and shake it up in your mouth and swallow. There's your coffee for the morning.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I
have
had a
done
coffee pot about 5 feet behind me.
Yeah, but that coffee pot's not always there. And like I
Right,
said,
and that's right there.
Well, on the ship,
Turpentine coffee.
it was.
right.
You
Turpentine
almost
coffee.
reach back and grab it.
Yeah. Oh, I've drank some coffee that tasted like turpentine.
Right?
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
I drove over the road for 20 years and I drank at every truck stop you can imagine, every place across this country. And there's some coffee out there that tastes like turpentine.
Oh, dude.
It's bad.
I've been in, I'm not going to lie, being 8 years military in the Army, I've had some coffee that's, you're like, you take that first sip of it and you're like, oh, okay. And if you're lucky to get any sugar, you're pouring sugar in it.
Yeah.
And people go,
I've
you
been
want
lucky
some
enough to
coffee
drink.
with that sugar? No, I don't want no sugar with this coffee, you know?
Carl, you were stationed in a place that was famous for coffee. Istanbul, Turkey.
Yeah, I know. And
they have some of the best coffee in the world.
They do. I got to admit that. I'd go to the market and get a different type of coffee each week and everything. And I'll tell you what, it just kept getting better and better. But the nice thing about Turkey over there, okay, and you know a lot about that region, the Turkish military over there, they called themselves the Rock Army, right? When I got there, my captain said, we got to find you a rock sergeant. Okay, why do I need a rock sergeant? He goes, I'll explain it. So he introduced me to this gentleman who was in the Turkish army. He's a rock sergeant. And he says, you buy him a bottle of wine every month. He'll get you anything you want because they cannot buy liquor, right? I said, okay. I bought him a bottle of wine. I'd been over there about a month and I was about fed up with some of the food I was eating over there. I'm from Missouri. I'm steak and potatoes, you know, my Budweiser beer, all that. So I walked up to him and I said, I want a nice big beef steak, 1 inch thick. He was okay. And I want a 12-pack of long neck Budweiser bottles. Okay. I'm going, yeah, right. Okay. Are you a genie and going to make it, you know, appear in front of me? Went to work, got off work, went back to my hut, and outside my hut was a styrofoam cooler with a steak. It was 1 inch and it was about a 22-ounce steak, right? Underneath it in ice were 12 Budweiser long neck bottles.
That's even better.
And I went, okay, now I got to figure me a little fire, place where I can cook this steak. I walk around back. The kid and his mom that hired to sweep out my dirt floor hut, right? Which was funny. Had built me a little rock pit out there and had a grill sitting on top of it with
That is
wood.
awesome, man.
So I sat
That
there
is
and cooked
awesome.
my steak and drank my beer, and I was like, oh, I got it made.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
This went on for 6 months and went on, and the captain goes, well, we're getting ready to ship you back to the United States. And I went, no. I said, do you have a paper I can sign up for the next 20 years right here? He
Right?
goes,
Yeah, no
we
kidding.
can't do that. And I went, oh, well, I guess I got to go home. I had it made.
Absolutely.
You was talking earlier, Tim, about deer season, where you're at and where I'm
Yep.
at, deer hunting. I'm 61 years old. I have deer hunted since I was 6 years old with Papa. Okay. I missed one deer season, and that was because I was in Istanbul, Turkey.
Yeah.
I told the rock sergeant about it. He goes, we go hunting. Right. And I went, okay. Shows up in a Jeep and had these rifles that, my God, they must have been 7.5 foot long. Right. I don't know what the hell they were, but they were big. So we drive out there and outside of town, way outside of town. They stop, and you know about the wild dogs over there.
Oh yeah.
They're chows, like a chow.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So he's sitting there and he's pointing. They're pointing down there, and I get the binoculars looking. I went, oh no, I ain't shooting no dog. Right? They go, oh, good eating. I went, oh no. No. Boom. They fired off a couple of rounds and dropped 2 of them. So we get down there to get these, and they're big, nasty, stinking, furry. Oh God, they were nasty. And two of the live ones came out, and I was ready to shoot one just to get out of there because they are mean.
Yep.
Yep.
So anyway, they put them in this Jeep with us, and I had to smell this crap all the way back into town, about to turn my stomach. Get back in town. They go, we clean them, and then we'll have big meal. And I went, I ain't going to your house to eat no more.
No way.
I'll wait until I get home. I'll go deer hunting, not
I'm
dog
pretty
hunting.
sure. I'm pretty sure I ordered it once in Korea by accident, but
I've ate some. I don't know what all I've ate over there, but
we
I
talked
don't have to eat it now.
We talked about coffee and beer, and I've been fortunate enough with my experience in the Navy to try some in a lot of different foreign places. Yeah. Some of the coffee is very different than our coffee, and then a lot of the foreign beer is very different from our beer. It can get I know like some of the Indonesian places and stuff use formaldehyde as a preservative for their food and their beer.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm
and
half
it's a little
involved.
higher than 5 or 6% too.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. I mean,
but see, that's right up my alley because I drink IPAs anyway. So, I drinking 6.9, 7.2, 10.8. I'm all right with that beer. I'm like,
Wait till you hit
yeah,
like this is more like the Copper Barrel type thing. It's closer to 20%.
understandable.
yeah.
I do want to say hi to Rosie and to Sam and to my sister from another Mr. Chrissy and Clarissa. Hi, ladies. Thanks for joining us. Glad you got to see me. Anyways.
Listen to him. Always the
yeah,
flow.
I don't know. I mean, I would try beers from overseas. I think that's really good. There's one over in Scotland that I want to try. I think it's called Venom or Snake something. And they say this beer is 97% It's a beer.
Ooh,
And there's a warning that you have to sip this beer. You can't.
can't chug it.
I just want to see what it's like.
Scott,
You've
Scott,
seen
I'm
some.
sorry, but beer should never be flammable.
I mean, you've seen some of the stupid stuff I've done. This is just one of those things I want to chalk up on my list. Have you
You
ever drank
shouldn't
the
be able
worst
to
beer
make
in the world?
a
Yes.
Molotov out of beer. Okay.
Hey, you talking about doing dumb stuff. On our Second Amendment Rent show, for a while we were doing stuff to raise money up for our merch to give away to everybody, right?
Mhm.
Well, the 4th of July show, and you can find it on the Bill of Rights Network. I'll tell you what, it got crazy. Okay. My big thing was I ended up with a pie in my face. So no big deal, except for 4th of July. It's hot. Where I'm live outside where all the honeybees are at. Yeah, that
Yeah,
didn't go too good.
I
Okay.
bet not.
One of the other hosts on one of our shows had to eat 4 lemons, whole lemons, rinds and all. He got through 2 of them and got sick.
I bet.
Okay. My co host on the Second Amendment Ranch had to drink a jar. It was a big jar that has jalapeno slices in it, right?
Ooh.
He had to drink the juice out of it and hold that in one drink, right? He did that. That kind of burned him up a little bit. But the one boy that really we all felt sorry for, he raised the most money up. We raised like $1,500 that night doing this stuff. He ate the nastiest fish known to man. That
Oh, that herring or
yeah,
oh.
okay.
Mm-mm.
It's so
Nope.
bad. He lived in an apartment building. It's illegal to open it inside the building.
Yes.
He had to go out on his deck to open it.
Oh,
And we're sitting there. We didn't know it was a whole fish in there. There were 6 of them in there. We said, all you got to do is eat one of them. And he's going like this. He's cutting it, taking the guts out of it, cutting the meat up into little chunks and everything. He got a spoonful of it. And oh my God, he lost it. Oh, he lost it.
couldn't have done it.
Oh
Yeah,
no. It was bad.
I always said that old show Fear Factor. I could do anything on there but eat the crap they make them eat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do
That
it.
I know
there, that was the nasty stuff. Ugh.
I know there's this little can, and it's called herring or something, and it's a challenge, and they challenge people to try and eat this thing.
That's it.
And
That's the same one.
I've done some challenges. I've done some food challenges, mostly hot. Okay, really hot, but that's not the point. But
Scott
that is
did the,
one I
Scott did
refuse
the
to
toe
do.
of Satan.
I've done the toe of Satan. I've done the Fuego box. I've done
Have you
the
done
mini nitro gummy bear.
nitro gummy bear?
Yep.
I have. I actually did that and then chased it with a chicken wing with 300. It's called Mad Dog 357, which is another 357,000 on the Scoville. So
Right.
did the gummy bear and then I ate the chicken wing. Yep.
Awesome.
But that-
awesome.
That right there, I will not do. I will no. All my buddies want to have me do something crazy and stupid like this edible tarantula or something. If everybody knows me, I hate spiders. Like,
Right.
Why would you want me to do that? But I mean, it's probably going to happen just because I'm stupid. It's probably going to do that. And no, Rosie, I do not have an ulcer. Thank gosh.
Uh-huh. And then another thing we did on our show was we was helping raising money for a pet organization that helped the locals with families to get their pets neutered or any health bills or anything. So we helped raise $1,000 for that. My co-host Cameron, had to eat 8 ounces on a plate of dry dog food.
Oh,
He got sick bad.
I'm not saying I've never ate a milk bone or two.
But
It
the
was
worst
great.
part about it was he goes, how can I feed this crap to my dogs? It tastes like shit. Right? And he sits there.
Right.
The next day, he went and bought him a different brand of food. I said, did you taste
Right.
test it first? And he went, no, that ain't happening
No,
again.
dude.
Well,
Like,
we got a guy.
you get
We
a-
got a guy down in Arizona that loves sending money to the Second Amendment Ranch if we do stupid, crazy stuff. And
right.
it got funny. It got real funny. That dog food made Cameron really sick.
Well, you know, and it's weird because like my dogs eat kibbles and bits, and I'm looking at the bag and it says bistro. Like I'm thinking, man, these dogs are eating like steak and stuff. Like that's
Right.
a bull crap.
Right.
Yeah, my dog's dog food says it is T-bone steak, bacon wrapped T-bone steak.
Yeah, you know why it says that, don't you? Your dog can't read.
Right.
Okay. It's like Cameron said when he had to
Like-
eat that. Yeah. When Cameron
you
had to
telling
eat
me
the
that is
dog
steak.
food to raise money, he got sick and he's like, oh, crap. I
You're
can't
gonna
feed
do
this
it,
to
aren't
my
you?
dogs no more.
Oh,
He
God.
ate it. Now, see, we do that on Second Amendment Ranch. That would raise you 50
Yeah.
bucks right there.
I'm just putting this out. It don't taste like steak. It's got a weird texture, really hard. Okay.
I ate a dog biscuit once on a dare, but
You like I said, if you know me,
it was around the time that Lethal Weapon came out, the one where he's eating the dog biscuits out of the box because he's trying to quit smoking.
Yeah.
And I was smoking a cigarette. My buddy's like, you wouldn't eat dog biscuits to stop smoking. And I was like, I'll eat a dog biscuit right now. And
hold on.
he pulled one out and I ate it.
Yeah, Rosie, bacon strips, they smell good, but they taste like crap. Believe me. I like bacon. And had one
I
for the
love
dogs,
bacon.
and I was smelling it, go, hell, this smells pretty good. I tore a chunk off, took a bite of it, and I went, oh, God, this ain't bacon. Ooh. Ooh.
Hey, it is what it is. People are like, oh man, you know,
The
I
only
live life to the
thing
fullest.
the only thing I've ever found that actually kind of does taste like bacon
It's
is
bacon.
there's a mushroom. I'm a big outdoors woods guy, always out there, and I love to go out and collect mushrooms.
Yes,
And we
you
have a
do.
mushroom here in Indiana that's called a pheasant's back mushroom.
Okay.
And what you do is you cut it up into cubes. It's a big shelf mushroom. It's orange and it's got kind of dark spot. It's kind of a feathered looking mushroom on the top and it has spots on it.
Right.
And you dice that mushroom up and you coat it with a little bit of flour mixed with a bunch of smoked paprika. And then you fry it in some butter, and they call that vegan bacon.
Really?
And it tastes more like bacon bits.
Huh.
But it's actually delicious in a salad.
Yeah.
Or just sit and munch on. I'll just sit and
Right.
munch on them.
Right. Around here, of course, in Missouri, we got the morel mushrooms.
Yeah, we do here
absolutely.
too.
Do you? Okay. And then we have one that's called a beefsteak mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the big thick one? Like
The big
the
red
puff?
one that looks like a human brain.
Yeah.
Right.
right.
Yep.
Yeah. Those two are the biggest ones that everybody eats around here, other than your store-bought potbellows and all that other crap.
Around here, you have the morels are real big, and then in the fall you have the chicken of the woods.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Cool.
Those are the two biggest ones around here that everybody goes out and collects.
But I'm like you. Every chance I get, I'll get out in the timber, do something. I squirrel hunt, rabbit hunt, turkey hunt, deer hunt, fish
Yep.
when I can, and everything. Because you always got to have that. You never know what's going to happen in our
my
lifetime.
17-year-old son is one of the best squirrel hunters I've ever met.
Really?
Oh yeah, he loves the squirrel hunt.
Hmm. Now, a lot of my hunting I've done here lately has all been with crossbows. I'm big into the crossbow deal now.
It's a lot of fun, and it's more challenging, and it's more sporting.
Yeah, well, it's challenging. I got a crossbow. I can knock a deer down at 100 yards with it.
That's pretty good. I probably couldn't do that with the 12 gauge.
Yeah, you could do it with this one. It's easy. It's easy. It goes 405 feet per second.
Around here, you can use some rifles, but like a bigger, more high-powered rifle, anything larger, I think, than 243, you have to be on private land.
Where you're at?
Yeah. On
Really?
public land, you can only hunt with handgun caliber rifles and rifles up to a 243.
Wow. Out here, you bring it in the woods, as long as it's bigger than a 40 caliber, you deer hunt with it. 30-06, 8 millimeter, 300 mag. You know.
Well, the problem here is it's so flat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Right.
and there's roads and houses and stuff, so they're always worried about. And there's so many deer hunters out here.
Yeah, well, same here.
The public land around here, there's a bunch of reservoirs, and the second highest scoring buck ever killed was just killed in our county 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, really?
And yeah, Cabela's actually paid the guy money to display it,
Uh-huh.
and had it paid to have a full body mount done for the deer.
Right.
And it's on display in the Dundee, Michigan, Cabela's, which is the world's largest.
Right. That's cool. Yeah, down here we got Cabela's down in Kansas City, which is 50 miles away from me. And,
well, ever since that buck was killed here in our county, hunting public land has become. I was just talking to a guy the other day from Ohio, and telling him, no, you cannot use an AR-15 on public land in Indiana.
Oh, God.
You've gotta scale it back.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, okay, I got my crossbow and I've got my shotgun. I was like, you can use shotgun in Indiana all day long.
Oh, you could use an AR 223.
Yeah, but they don't. Something to do with the fire rate or something like that. They don't allow AR-15s either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because there's so many people in the woods. You start
Right.
shooting a semi-automatic at a running deer, you're more likely going to hit somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. And the 243, I like that shell because 243 flies straight.
Mm-hmm.
And if it hits a little twig or a little blade of grass, it disintegrates basically.
Yeah, I'm a big 308 guy. I love 308s.
Uh-huh. They're nice.
Especially made by Mozzie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But up here, no. See, the nice thing about Missouri, we are a Second Amendment preservation state. So we can have anything we want. We've always been
on
that
private
way.
land here, you can hunt with any gun you want to hunt with.
Right. I can go to the conservation ground out here, Missouri State Conservation, and hunt on it with anything.
I want to use a cannon.
Same with
because I'm going to give me something.
Same with the bonus antlerless tags. You can't use those during firearm season on public land, but
Really?
you can on private land.
Yep.
Oh, that's screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really screwed up.
But you can use it during. We have a muzzleloader season here.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use it during muzzleloader, and you can hunt a doe during firearm season on public land with a bow at any time.
Right.
From the time deer season starts to the time deer season ends, you can use a bow,
right,
no matter what.
Now, how long's your rifle season run out there?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Ours runs 9 days.
Okay.
But archery season starts September the 15th and runs until January the 15th. Okay? The only time you can't archery hunt is during those 9 days.
So you can archery hunt during gun season.
Right. Here they won't let you do it. They want all the gun hunters because Missouri Conservation makes big money on out-of-state hunters.
Yep, we do too.
I mean, at the restaurant this
for
week
my
up there,
being a resident, my deer tags are $24.
Okay.
Being a non-resident in the state of Indiana is $150 tag.
Okay. Ours, as a resident, is $22 for your any deer permit and $7 for antlerless permits. Out of stater, any deer permit is $265.
Dang.
Right? Yeah. And
Yeah,
then their antlerless tags are $25.
I'm just gonna play like Rambo and climb up in the tree and sit there with my knife like this.
Uh-huh.
And wait for one to walk by me. I'm just gonna jump on its back. Yeah, you're right.
Jeff Foxworthy made a series of videos called The Incomplete Deer Hunter.
Uh-huh.
And there's one where they're trying to enter a competition for a mounted deer head. Yeah. And they have a doe head with caribou antlers on it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And so the DNR is like asking them all these questions. The conservation officer is like, "How'd you kill this deer?" And the guy goes, "I'm half Choctaw. I was riding him, riding him and jigging him."
But,
yeah, that's right, Nick.
But out here, like I said, in the restaurant this week, we had 4 guys from Michigan. I had 8 guys from Tennessee. I had 2 guys from Arkansas and 2 guys from Alabama that came to the restaurant every night to eat.
Wow.
That stay in a cabin up here for one of the big farmers around here that's got 25,000 acres.
Yeah.
And they lease the land. Oh, yeah. He's one of the biggest ones around. But you look at that money. Look at the money they spent. Mm-hmm. You know, they would come in the restaurant and drop $100 bill, each one of them, drinking beer, eating their meal every night. And I'm like, "You guys got a TV show?" And they go, "Nope, you don't want us filming what we do." And I went, "Okay, no problem, guys.
No, yep.
No problem.
Don't ask, don't tell."
No, but the nice thing about it, one of the guys from Tennessee came up, and I'd met him the week before. He was up here, and then his wife and 2 kids came up. Now, they each got to pay out-of-state tags, right? The boy, the little 7-year-old boy, got an 8-point buck opening morning. So he's all smiles, ear to ear, right? Deer is for sissies, right?
But she's
you have lions, that's right. And I'm gonna carry a bigger gun when I go over there for a lion.
They call that.
I've always wanted to go to South Africa and hunt. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't they call that the ghost in the darkness? Because I don't want no part of that.
That's right.
I'm good.
Actually, Scott, the 2 lions from that movie are at the Field Museum in Chicago.
Well, they can stay there dead. How's that?
But no, I've always wanted to go to South Africa and hunt.
Oh, yeah. I love all these places where you see hunters go and everything. As a hunter, you know, I'd love to do it. I'm getting ready to go back down to Texas and go hog hunting and axis deer hunting down there. But,
I was invited to go to Alaska back in August. A buddy of mine that I went to high school with, he lives out there, to come out there and go hunting. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. Hopefully soon, though. Hopefully soon. Do a little caribou hunting or whatever.
Right. Yeah, we got elk in the Boot Hill in Missouri now that they turn loose down there. And we've got reporting black bears coming up in our area out of Arkansas.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
a little bit of sriracha.
There you go.
And a little
wimpy
stuff.
Sauce.
Yeah, this ain't hot.
What you eating?
A French fry. You know how I
French
roll.
fries.
Oh yeah, let's just add it on there, kind of thick.
I made some homemade. I'll get one.
That's not too bad, bro.
I made some homemade fries tonight, steak fries, and I
Not bad.
put a little Cajun seasoning on them.
Awesome.
They're good.
Awesome. Yeah, I got to get ready tomorrow and smoke 3 turkeys up to get. I got to make 40 pounds of smoked turkey for church.
Right on.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Besides
love smoked
general
turkey.
manager, I'm the pit master at the barbecue up at our restaurant. So,
Oh, there you go.
oh yeah, that's a good kick there because you know everything that you cook, you got to taste test.
Oh yeah,
Always,
of course.
always.
That's the number one rule being a chef.
Right. I mean, it's the ribs, the brisket, the pulled pork, smoked
where's this
chicken.
at? Where am I coming?
Anytime you want to, come to Gallatin, Missouri.
Gallatin. Yeah, dude, I'm there. Brisket. You're talking my language. Brisket.
Burnt
Smoked barbecue.
ends.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You just
I
said-
make
you
some
just-
killer burnt ends.
you just said the magic word. Burnt ends. Oh,
Yeah.
my
I
wife's
ain't-
over here going. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When I do the
Burnt ends.
brisket, I end up making all together out of all the briskets close to 15 pounds of burnt ends.
Mm.
And in a weekend, they're gone.
No, I
They
wouldn't
can
doubt
see
it.
you, Max. They can
Yeah.
see you.
Is that Max?
Yep.
Annoying little dog.
When you hear a dog bark on the 13th dimension, it's normally him.
Oh, that's all right. Hey, all our shows on the network there, we got dogs everywhere. Simple Man, you say something about Biden, his dog barks automatically, right? And then on the Second Amendment Ranch, we got Cameron's dog, the boxer. He just loves coming up and putting his butt in the camera. So, yeah.
Well, here in the 13th dimension, we always say we bow to no corporate sponsors.
Sponsors.
That's right.
Uh,
That's right. We always do that back and forth. You know, we're sitting there doing something and go, oh, and if they would like to sponsor us, here you go.
oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I like it. When Wendy wants to sponsor me, I'm fine with that. I can get all the chicken nuggets I want.
That's right.
Just saying.
Well, it's just like this banner I got behind me. I was on one of the auction sites at our local deal down here, and they had a Second Amendment ranch or Second Amendment flag with the Second Amendment and the words in the flag. I bought for $5, right? No biggie. I go down to pick it up, and I said, "You got any more of them?" She goes, "No, we sold out." And I went, "Crap." I said, "I was looking for another one. I was going to hang out one in our restaurant, but I need one for a backdrop for my radio show, the Second Amendment Ranch." Got talking. She goes, "Just a second." She comes back, hands me this one and goes, "You can have it." So shout out to Country Bargains in Cameron, Missouri. They like giving me stuff away. I like this one. This one's
Right
That's
on.
cool.
awesome. I do like that a lot.
Yeah.
It
well,
makes a real good backdrop when my green screen
What's up, Howard Petrie?
and stuff. Oh, there's Howard.
I was just talking
Hey,
about
Howard.
you. I made French fries tonight and put Cajun seasoning on them. They were delicious.
Howard, we're going hunting. Can't you see?
That's right. Hunting for our rights.
That's right.
By the way, when you guys were sitting there talking about, well, mostly you, Tim, when you sitting there talking about in Korea trying to eat dog or trying dog, just so you know, Pandora's head was laying on my lap, and I'm like, poor dude, like, stay away from Tim.
I'm just saying, I went into a restaurant in Korea and I was like, you know what? I've got all this money that I've been banking because when you're on ship, there's not a whole lot to spend it on. And
Other men.
No. So I'm like, I got all this money. I'm like, I want the most expensive thing on the menu. So I ordered it.
That's the worst thing you could have said, dude.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there eating, and I'm not gonna lie, it was, I don't know
Good.
if it was the sauce or what it was, but it was good. I'm not gonna lie. And one of the guys I was with spoke Korean, and he goes, "You know that's dog, right?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I didn't, but it's pretty good, so I'm gonna keep eating it." So I finished my plate.
That's right.
Hey, no food goes to waste.
That's right.
Now, what time is the latest shows on Things Network? The latest ones at Central Standard Time.
I believe that was last night. Would have been 11 Eastern time, so 10 p.m.
10 p.m. That's when it starts or ends?
starts.
Starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't, because we got one tonight after our show.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
I believe so. So, and it will begin at 10 Eastern
Okay.
tonight.
Well,
So that's 9.
I'll get with you guys sometime because our restaurant up there is haunted. And everything.
Oh.
We have done live investigations there live using StreamYard.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's so Saturday nights, we reserve 4 live investigations on the network. So if you're ever doing an investigation
okay.
on a Saturday night, just talk to Crystal, my wife, Crystal Kohler, and let her know that you'd like to use the network. It's on a first come, first served basis.
Okay.
So whoever says, "Hey, we have an investigation this Saturday. We'd like to broadcast live from the network," you're more than
'cause
welcome to do that.
The way we do it, it's interesting because I set up 2 computers on StreamYard using different cameras. Each computer will have 2 cameras off of them, right?
Mhm.
And usually we have 2 to 3 people on StreamYard watching. And in the chat room, we had a lady from Australia that could see one of the spirits above the clock
Oh, that's right.
in our
Thank you, Jerry.
restaurant. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. But yeah, I love doing it that way because it lets our people in the chat room interact with it on the investigations. It came in real good when we was all under the COVID crap and stuff and couldn't get out. But yeah, they have seen the shadow man in our restaurant that's humped over walking across in front of the windows. They've seen the hobo outside the window looking in. So
That's awesome.
we're going to try. I got to get everything set up there. And
Well,
then if everything works out right, our new restaurant that we're getting ready to purchase is a lot older building, and it's got history out the yin yang. The building attached to it was a bank that Jesse James robbed and shot and killed a guy in.
Oh, wow.
And at the other end of the block was a Mormon war where there was 22 of them shot and killed. So
around here, the big guys around where we're at in Indiana were Dillinger and Babyface Nelson, and that era of gangster were really prevalent in this area.
Right.
In fact, there's a very small town not far from me. The bank is still there. It's still a working bank, and that's the Montpelier, Indiana. The Dillinger robbed it.
Right.
And that's the famous bank where he walks in and the woman opens her purse and Dillinger looks at her and goes, "Oh no, ma'am, we don't want your money. We want the government's money."
Right.
And he actually let her finish her banking and escorted her out the door and then robbed the bank.
Yeah. Right. But up here, you're in the area where Jesse James and Frank James were born. Okay. You're in the area where Jesse James was shot and killed in St. Joe, Missouri, just 40 minutes away from me.
In his home.
Yeah. Gallatin, Missouri, I live in. He robbed a bank and shot a guy up here. Winston, 6 miles away, they robbed the train. The tunnel underneath the railroad track is still there where they robbed the train at. So that's all up in our area as far as the gangsters and the robbers and stuff like that. You know, Kansas City, of course, you had, oh Lord, Valentine's Massacre. You
Yep.
had Union Station murder, the FBI, all that crap went on down there.
Yeah, Nick Millet, he's out of Chicago, so he was the Capone St. Valentine's Day Massacre and
Right,
all the stuff, all the Chicago gangsters up there, you know,
right,
and all
but
that stuff is
Oh,
just interesting as all get out to me.
right. And up here in Gallatin, we have one of
That is true.
3 jails that are still that are left in America. We've got a squirrel cage jail up here.
Oh, really?
Yep. And I've investigated it.
Awesome.
Yeah. I get in there about any time I want to, but yeah, it doesn't work. It's just stationary now, but it was there. And there's a lot of history in there. Frank James stayed in there when after he gave himself up and would come up here to be the grand marshal at the horse races they had back in, he would stay in the squirrel cage jail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
It's
I have a
crazy.
lot of history back and forth with the James gang up in here.
Oh, yeah.
Several houses out here, you can hear the stories of the grandparents and great grandparents saying Jesse and Frank James and all of them, the Cole Youngers and all them stayed out here one night. You know,
Mhm.
we hit them out and everything. They paid
Hit him
us
out in the
and-
barn.
Yep. Did a lot
Yep.
of that up here. So there's a lot of it. And then we have a lot of, up in Northwest Missouri, some of the craziest murders in there. Well, you've heard of Ken McElroy from Skidmore, Missouri, the town bully that the town shot in 1980, 81.
I
He
don't
was
know
a
if
I don't think
bully up there that bullied everybody. He'd go steal your cows or your horses, hogs, everything, right? Raped women and all this, and the town was scared of it. They made a movie of it and everything. And he shot the storekeeper in the head with a 22, didn't kill him. They were going to take him to court to finally get rid of him, and everything kept coming up where they couldn't get to court. So the whole town met together one Sunday morning. He pulled up in front. They walked outside, and 30 guns went off in the back end of that truck.
dang.
Blew his head off. It made worldwide news when it happened.
Wow.
And then in the same town up there, the young girl that was buying a dog, and she was 9 months pregnant, the lady come up that was supposed to have the dog, went in there, cut the baby out of her stomach, and stole the baby. So we have a
Wow.
lot of crazy stuff going on here.
Chantel, if you do that, swing by, pick me up, because I want to go chase some tornadoes too. I'm just saying.
I've
You
never
come-
chased
You
one.
come
I've
out
been
here,
really-
you're in Tornado Alley.
Yeah. Yep. I've never chased one. I've been close to one. Really close. Like close enough to throw a beer bottle and watch it never touch the ground again.
I've been close enough in a Jeep, it picked the Jeep up and turned us around the opposite way.
I'm good. No.
Yep.
Like I want
You
to
just
see
told her
one.
to pick you up because you wanted to go do it.
No, I do, but I don't want to
Now I'll tell you what's fun.
forget you, tornado.
Now, how big a towns do you guys live in? Population.
We actually live in the same town, so
Yeah. We're
We're-
like 30 minutes southwest of Fort Wayne.
so
Okay.
maybe what 30,000.
Yeah, I think we're right at about 33,000 people in our
Yeah.
town. It's a small town.
Okay. I live in a town of 1,800 people.
See,
Okay,
that's what I'm
that-
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. What's cool is the police department up here knows I'm a paranormal investigator, right? So when they have to go look for somebody at nighttime, guess who they come and get?
You.
Because I've got the night vision cameras and everything. And the first time I went with them, and they were looking for somebody. We was down by the river. The car, they parked the car down there, and this person ran off. So I had my night vision camera, and I had my one light on there that'll see 150 feet, right? And I went, okay, we need to see further. So I plug in my converter and get my other light out that runs off my converter off 110, and we can see 400 feet. And that cop goes, hey, this is cool. And I said, that ain't cool. That guy over there by that log, that's cool. The one you're looking for. And so anytime they have to go search at night and everything, they come by and get me.
And that's awesome, man. You know, especially having night vision and all that, dude.
Well, it also helps because some of the stories they come up with of what they've seen. I was telling you about our cemetery we take care of, right? Another reason we take care of this cemetery, not only being my great-great-great-grandfather's cemetery that he gave the land for, right? The sheriff's department, this is out in the middle of the boonies. The sheriff's department won't even go out there because they've seen the cavalry on horses out there. And I mean, it's something else. We put a trail cam out, and I have an apparition of a horse and rider on a trail cam.
Yeah,
that would be pretty wild to see.
my great grandfather, maybe 3 greats, I'm not sure, was part of the 1st Kentucky Cavalry in the Civil War. In fact, I've had a member of my family in every U.S. conflict from the Civil War up to Desert Storm, and then when I was in Serbia was going on.
That is cool.
Yeah, but I tracing back my family history, I found that there was one member of my family at least in every U.S. conflict.
That's awesome. Pretty wild, man. That's a good. And
but
I don't know who this is, but who is that, Tim?
That's Mr. York.
Oh, you long-haired hippie. Oh, you going to get it, boy. Oh, you wait.
Yeah, yeah. I saw what Nick said too.
Yeah, I seen what Nick said. Yeah, you gonna get too, Nick. It's on now.
Yeah.
So Carl, a little history here. Scott is 5'1".
Hey, watch your mouth.
We like to call him Leprechaun Scott.
Okay.
He's very short. And the reason my nickname is the rare balded Sasquatch is because I'm 6'3". And I wear a size 15 shoe.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Yeah. So literally, I was the kid that never could hide well in hide and seek. They just follow my footprints.
I'm a king next to Sasquatch. I'm just saying.
Well,
I under a pebble. Nobody finds me.
Well, Scotty, you wasn't on here when I explained my Wizard of Oz down here.
No,
okay.
I wasn't.
Okay. I was on another network, not my network or this one, but on another network, producing all their shows. And one of them said, oh, Wizard of Oz. And I went, what? And he goes, that's your new name. And I went, okay. I said, he goes, Odd, operating digital devices. Well, that's what the ODD stands for. I do computers, cameras, all that stuff, help people out with. And it just stuck with me. So that's how I come up. Everybody knows me as the Wizard of Oz on all the shows.
Dude, that is awesome. Yeah, I'm as tiny as they come, and I'm okay with it,
Hey,
yeah.
I know. I'm 6'3". I weigh about 160, and I got Cameron that's on my show. He's 6'3" and weighs about 280.
Well, why don't y'all
and when I get around him, I can stand behind him. You can't see me.
That's right. Scott may be 5'1", but he's got a humongous heart.
Hey,
And
that's all.
I will hump the hell out of your egg.
Oh,
Yes, he
man.
does.
So,
In fact, Crystal and I were talking about when we passed tonight,
uh-huh.
and I said I don't know if I said I want a viewing because I want somebody to put an EVP recorder in my casket for the viewing, and then the day of the funeral, take it back out.
Uh-huh.
See what I said overnight? But Crystal said, if you had a viewing, Scott would be in there trying to hump the casket.
Oh, Lordy.
I miss you, bro. Yep, it's gonna happen. Just let it happen.
Yeah, just let it happen. He's part Indiana Leghound.
That's true. That.
But no, seriously. We were talking about, there's these, I just read about this here recently, where your wife and you have a word where if one of you passes away and the other one sets up some kind of device, something, then you have this word that they know it's you that's telling them.
Right.
That's sending them a message.
Right. We've had that. Couple of our friends that have passed on, we had that set up with them.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Everything. One lady, we investigated her apartment, and she's a real sweet lady. And we had our DVR camera set up in the living room, bedroom, and different things like that. I'm in the bedroom filming with my phone, and all of a sudden, as I'm filming, I go around and it felt like something shoved a cigarette in my arm. I mean, it burnt bad. I went, damn. It's just what I said on it. And I said, feels like something did a cigarette and everything. So I go back out in the living room where everybody's at, pull my sleeve up, and I've got a blister forming right there where it burnt. Just like if you burn it with a cigarette, you get a big blister and stuff. And went okay. The more we got to looking in that bedroom, what we found out, and this goes back to our military too, is on the wall, she had a shadow box of her son's that he brought back, a flag and a bunch of his medals. Right?
Right.
In the corner of that, it's not human. What I caught a little figure inside the shadow box through the glass, about that tall, pointed ears, the whole 9 yards. Right? So when she passed away, she had a habit of turning lights on and off. So we told her, okay, if it's you, I want you to turn the light on and off 3 times in a row and stuff. We had that set up. She passed away. She was a member of our church. We'd be live at our church and the lights would go off 3 times in a row and then stop during the sermon. And we go, okay, she's here with us. No problem.
Yeah.
But when she passed away, I talked to her son. He came in, they were getting stuff out, and he grabbed that shadow box. And I had a picture on my phone at the time. And I showed him what I had caught in that glass. He goes, I've seen that before. And I went, what do you mean you've seen that before? And he says, I seen that in Afghanistan. That creature. I said, well, it came back in your shadow box too. So we got to get that shadow box cleansed, blessed, something, because if you're taking it with you, it's going to follow you to your house and stuff. So me and the pastor worked on it, said our prayers over it and everything. And he ain't had no problems with it. But yeah, that was kind of weird in itself, that After that, he sat down and told me all the stuff he had seen in Afghanistan and everything. And I'm like, man, evil stuff they had seen. One of our guys we talked to on our Second Amendment ranch was over in Iraq, Afghanistan, different places over there. They were your ones that went in, him and his brother. They were both in the same squadron. They signed the papers to get this done, right? They're 6'9",
Jesus.
360-pound twins, identical, 99% identical twins, right?
Good Lord.
So when you get two 6'9" guys, 360 pounds that clear a house and go in and say, you're going with us, they go with you, right? He said they were in this one place and it was dark and he had night vision goggles on and seen these two glowing red eyes up in a corner, lifted the goggles up and seen the two red glowing eyes up in the corner. He said, yeah, you should have seen two 360-pound men jump over a staircase and down they went. And they went, house is cleared. Go for it.
Yep.
You know, but they told us all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
That was over there. And that's
we did a story not too long ago on the Kandahar, well, last season.
Last season, Kandahar
on the
Giant.
Kandahar Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the supposed giants over in that region. And the story is just incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. And you know, you're reading the Bible. Well, you read Enoch, a book that was never put in the Bible, and they talk about the giants, right?
Right.
So they could still be down through history. You know, there are big people out here. You know, look at Shaq.
Yep.
Explain that one, you know.
Well, like that skeleton they unearthed, where was that? Montana.
Mm-hmm.
They unearthed a skeleton of a man that was well over 8 foot tall.
Yeah, almost 9.5 foot tall, wasn't
it? Yeah. And he was buried next to two women that were barely over 5 feet tall.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's giants out here, and I could see the giant legend over there, you know, just like that. So it's crazy. You know, everybody's got to look. That's what makes me so mad about what's going on in our country with the schools and everything, taking our history out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because without the history, our kids are never going to learn what we have learned back years ago that we can apply today, because history repeats itself. We all know that.
Yeah,
it does.
And stuff. But
unfortunately, fashion does too. I went to pick my son up from school the other day, so we could go straight out hunting. Once I picked him up from school, and I'm sitting there, and all these boys come walking out, and they all have mullets. And I'm like, no, boys, no. You don't understand. It was such a bad idea in the 80s.
It's coming back. It is coming back.
I'm like, no mullets.
I've seen the mohawk with the mullet, and what's up with
I'm bald and beautiful.
What's these kids? Well, I'm bald. I wear a hat. But
I'm yeah, I got hair. I'm sexy.
But what's up with these kids now? Their socks. They don't wear the same sock.
Yeah.
They got two different socks. I got a grandson in here that's 7. Goes to school and I go, you got the wrong socks on. Put two that matches. Oh, no, we don't wear them like that. And I went, you wear them like that going out of my house. But no, we don't wear them like that. Now, are you kidding me? Oh, well,
yeah, I've got 2 pairs of socks on right now, but that's because I was out hunting. I'm also wearing 3 pairs of pants.
Yeah. I got my Columbia insulated vest on because this back room gets chilly.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I work for the city. I have my Under Armour gear on. I still got my.
What's your weather out there right now?
Oh, we're getting down. I think tomorrow morning when my son and I head out, it'll be about 28 degrees.
Okay, we was at 25 this morning, and it's 44 out right now.
It was 64 here Wednesday?
Yeah, it was like 61, 64. Because
Mhm.
we finished almost.
We
finished
had
putting
a
up
warm
Christmas
front come
lights.
through and then another cold front.
Right, you
Yeah.
get the same weather, basically what we do, and everything.
Yeah,
That's what I
Oh
joke.
yeah.
we're about a straight line over from Chicago.
Yeah,
So we get, come the deepest part of winter, January, February, we're looking at temperatures around 6, 7 for the high.
yep, same here,
And I've seen wind chills at -20.
yeah. That's why I got all my hosts except for one is out of Houston, Texas, right? And when they got hit with the ice and snowstorm last year,
Yeah.
they thought the world came to an end.
Right?
Oh man, Cameron, my buddy, I went down there here a couple months ago. I went down and stayed with him for a week, and we was talking. I said, "I gotta go talk to your neighbor," and he goes, "Why?" I gotta make sure he's got his generator ready for you again this winter. They had to run an extension cord from their neighbor's generator into their house to run heat.
Hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, y'all got electric heat and your houses ain't insulated worth crap.
Yes, I do, Chantel. I believe aliens and Bigfoot comes in and steals our socks. One sock at a time. It's a big conspiracy.
Oh. Yeah. Aliens and Bigfoot. Now, you go to
Absolutely.
Oklahoma, there is a legal hunting season for Bigfoot down there now.
Yeah, boy.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm a believer, Scott's not.
Hey, I'm just saying, there's like 2 million hunters in Wisconsin. You're telling me not one of them people can shoot this damn thing? I'm just saying.
I agree with you, Scott, but
Even if they did, they'd never
there's
drag it out of the
parts
woods.
there's parts of this world and country, in the United States even,
Oh yeah.
that man has not stepped foot on,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But where they report Bigfoot at a lot of they've reported it here in Missouri, right? And
Right.
I'm like, I go deer hunting, and there's days I'll go and I don't see a deer. So, but a deer isn't as big as a Bigfoot,
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I believe so there's a whole conspiracy theory built around Bigfoot that I particularly subscribe to. It's the most reasonable one.
okay.
And that theory is that the reason that our government knows Bigfoot exists, but the reason they don't admit it is because of the West Coast logging industry.
Okay.
And the reason this theory exists is because look what happened to the West Coast logging industry when the spotted owl was spotted up in Washington State.
Right.
They almost went bankrupt overnight.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Big time.
the West Coast logging industry is a $1 billion a year industry.
Mm-hmm. But
oh yeah, yes, Americans do love a good conspiracy. In fact, we have a show coming up in January that is all about conspiracy theories, and this time we're going to be talking about JFK.
Yeah, Momo, you're right, Nick. Momo's been reported, especially around St. Louis.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Nick is the guru of cryptids.
Yeah, I know. I've had him on Paranormal Nation Radio.
Between Tim and Nick, they're the biggest nerds I've ever met.
No. He just says that because of my Vlad talk.
You also got to look at it as Bigfoot and aliens kind of joined together.
I've heard that conspiracy theory before.
The best one I like, and we joke about this on the show, Denise does especially, is Why you never find a dead Bigfoot? Because the porcupines eat their bones. You remember the Bigfoot show out there in Pennsylvania? Those crazy three guys that went out. They're the ones that came up with, well, porcupines eat them. And I'm like, are you kidding me? God. But I look at it this way. Before what? 1950? Nobody ever seen a dead elephant?
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they would go to a certain place to die. All of them did. Right? Why wouldn't it be the same thing with a Bigfoot?
Well, there are actually lots of reports of animals that have believed to have been long extinct, and they're finding them.
Right.
Mega mouse sharks, especially oceanic.
Oh, yeah. We don't know nothing about the ocean.
Yeah.
There's stuff
Right.
down there that I'm sure the government and the Navy know a lot about, more than we do, that they can't say nothing about, because if it did, oh my Lord, what would it unlock?
Yeah, there was some. I happen to have been read in on a few things. Not really read in on them, but had high enough security clearance to read about them. And yeah, there was a few things that really shocked me. Of course, I can't really talk too much about
Right. Well,
certain things, but
you even look back 1974 when Jaws came out. Okay. They made this massive robot shark for the movie, bigger than we could ever imagine. As soon as the movie came out, within a month after the movie came out, somebody killed one bigger than what they made in the movie.
That is absolutely crazy.
I know. Before it was
know.
nobody ever seen one that big. And then all of a
Right.
sudden one gets shot or one gets killed, caught, and that got me thinking, years ago about, okay, they make this stuff up and then they find something bigger. So, why couldn't there be something out there?
Right.
Right? Up in our part of the country for years and years, people would see mountain lions, right? Conservation say, there's none up here. There's none in Missouri. They've been in Missouri for years. You just rarely ever got to see one, right? Now you see them quite a bit. Anytime I go out in my stand, I look up in the tree to make sure there's nothing up in there.
Yeah, because you never know.
No, I don't want to be up in there and something start purring.
Nope.
For me, the reason I believe in some of this stuff is because it was reported years before you could ever make money or become famous for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially when you talk to the native communities, and they're like, yeah, that's been a part of our traditions for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And, they had nothing to gain. When people come out with a story and they have nothing to gain from it, they have everything to lose from it.
Right.
That's when you start saying, okay, wait, there's something behind this. There has to be at least some truth somewhere at some point in time this existed.
And like you're saying, look at all the different tribes all across the United States, right?
Yep.
They all have it in their history.
Yeah. And the thing is, people don't understand that right here in Indiana, at one point in time, we had wolves, we had bears, we had all these animals that no longer exist here.
Right.
But that as the expansion of mankind came in and deforestation and things like that, these animals went extinct in this area.
Right.
We had mountain lions, we had bobcats, we had all that here. They're not here anymore.
Oh, yes.
We have to come to a conclusion here.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. Well, again, guys, thank you very much for having me on your show. Thank you for Nick
Carl,
and
it
all
is
you
our
guys
pleasure.
inviting my show to your network. You know, that meant a
It's an
lot to me.
absolute pleasure, Carl. We couldn't be happier to have you, and we are so happy to have you on our show. And I've really enjoyed my time sitting and talking with a fellow vet.
Mhm.
I know Scott
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
has
Absolutely.
three
It's
vets
always a
on
good
one
time.
show and a paranormal show. It's a little rarer these days, but
Yeah.
It will go every which way. Is just how we roll, man.
since we are talking about vets, Scott, and we do have a couple more minutes, I wanted to take a moment to mention the Paranormal Giving Tree.
Absolutely.
We are going to be releasing a date on this very soon, but what the Paranormal Giving Tree is, Carl, is we are setting up locations across the U.S., matching them up with teams, and we are going to do one night all across the country where any active military person or veteran can go on a free investigation.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So we're getting the buildings to donate, and then we're getting teams to donate their time to allow. We did something like this last year called the Paranormal Relief Project
Mm-hmm.
that somebody else ran. This year it's been given to our team,
Right.
and we're going to continue it. But last year it was for COVID workers and first responders.
Yep.
This year we're going to do veterans.
Okay.
And then what we've talked about doing is like like a love donation to where we can give to a vet charity.
Okay.
But
It's still in the works, though. But
yeah, everything is still in the works. We don't have a date set for it, but we're going to be rolling this out here pretty soon. So the Paranormal Giving Tree, we really want to be able to give for the paranormal community to be able to give back to different members of our own communities.
Oh, okay. Yeah, count me in on that and everything.
Yeah.
We can use our
Right on.
restaurant, whatever.
Yeah,
know.
each year we're going to do a different group of people to give back to.
Mm-hmm.
But this year we're going to do veterans.
Yep.
Awesome.
And we just thought it would be a really awesome time. And I think what we need to do, Scott, is find a Saturday to do this,
we will.
and then set up different times for different locations to go live.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So,
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, it would be a really fun. It's going to be a really fun thing to do. But yeah, we have to go. So Carl, thanks again, and Scott, if it here in the 13th dimension, if it's paranormal or beyond.
Hey, brother, we got it covered.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody.
Night,
Good night, everybody.
I went to the wrong thing.